How are we doing, everybody? My name is Jacob Hannafin, and today we are looking into, well, as you can tell by the title of this video, it is my first year on iRacing and being in the simulator every single day consecutively for 365 days. So today, within this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about my progress, some of my highlights, and even some lowlights, and kind of really look into the data and see what 1 year of iRacing consistently really does look like. So, in the background, I'm going to have a Nordschleife race with the Verstappen sim team. Obviously, this is one of my highlights most recently that I've been able to race with these some professional guys. But real quick, we're just going to jump over to iRacing real quick while that's playing in the background, and just kind of look at where I started and kind of where I'm at now, specifically in GT. That is primarily what I race the most. Where we started May 15th, 2025, and have been in the sim consecutively every single day for an entire year. So we started at a 1100, almost 1200 IR. As we could see, throughout the first, few couple months, I really ranged in a tight spread. I didn't really expand out of that much, and it took me almost, what was that, 6 to 9 months to actually really break out of that area, and I'll kind of talk about that here in a second. But looking at our data, just in 1 year's of time, I've had 1,544 starts, as you can see up here. 1 year, 1,544 starts in GT, 63 wins, 376 top fives, 37 poles, an average start of 13th, and an average finish of 12th, clocking 10,855 total laps, leading 372 of those, with about 6.4 incidents per race, and 51 points per race, with a win percentage of 4.08%, and a 24% in the top 5, which actually isn't too bad, and a 3% laps led. And looking over at my formula as well, we can look at the formula iRating. I don't treat formula like I do with GT. I care a lot more about my GT iRating, so my formula has definitely been a flat line basically throughout my whole time in iRacing. I don't necessarily beat myself up if I'm losing iRating in formula, because it's not primarily what I'm focused on as far as the sim goes. In 2025 alone, from May 15th to December 31st, we had 903 starts, 42 wins, 222 top fives, 27 poles, 13 and 12 on that average start and finish, and a total lap of 6,595 total laps, which is crazy. Doing this every single day. I have a standard job. I'm sort of in we could say, a Jimmy Broadbent position at the moment. I'm in basically a small confined space, just sim racing every single day consecutively, wanting to get better and striving to be the best that I could possibly be in the sim. Basically, when I get off of work, it's, walk and feed the dogs. Of course, we have responsibilities and everything. But after that, it is in the sim for hours on end, whether it's good, bad, rain, or shine. I am in the sim, and I am striving to be better and be the best I can possibly be, and also do this for a living one day. That's why I'm in this YouTube scene. That's why I'm starting to post shorts consecutively every day. I'm very focused on making a career out of this and finding sponsors, aligning with brands, and aligning with teams for the most part. Currently, I'm racing with Iron Lions Motorsport, and we're doing things like the 6 and 12 and 24 hours of Spa. We got the Majors 24 coming up. Just recently, we had the Nürburgring 24, the virtual Nürburgring 24 that just passed over. I actually didn't get to race in that. Our car retired an hour before I was able to start my first stint, unfortunately, but it's no worries. We'll get them the next year, and we will be way better than we were this year, next year, way faster for that matter. That's basically my progress in iRacing. It's at first I started on controller. I've loved racing my entire life, and I've been on basically every Forza Motorsport you can imagine. Before I had an Xbox, I was on the very early Gran Turismos and racing on the PlayStation 2. So it's something that's been part of my life for a long time, and this is the first year that I've ever really fully committed myself to not only making a living out of this one day, but also striving to get better and one day hopefully getting into a GT car for real, because that is, just the ultimate dream, A lot of us strive for that. And I'm here to plant my flag essentially and just kind of say, hey, my name is in the hat and I'm here to race. And I have certainly shown skill over the course of the year that I've been here. Starting off in controller, you can kind of see it wasn't too much growth in that because you need to be obviously very precise with braking inputs, steering inputs, and stuff. And so it's very hard to grow out of that range if you're not doing like oval or something. I primarily road race. If you can look at my oval stats, I have done nothing in oval. Primarily because if I did oval, I would smoke everybody in the oval, and I would prefer to give everybody else a chance in the oval. So that's why I do not compete in oval. And also, I prefer to road race personally. My favorite track is the Nürburgring, the Nordschleife. Following things like Spa or Le Mans is another one of my favorites. A lot of these endurance tracks that we see primarily in the racing season are typically some of my favorites. And over the course of my career in road racing, obviously I'm now in a full rig. I'm with using the Moza GT wheel with the R12 and an aluminum frame. Okay, so yeah, right here on December 14th, I first got into a steering wheel. And at the time, it was a desk clamp, and you can see how I've gradually risen over time since that point in time. And never really looked back. It is very true what they say: when you start to upgrade your gear, you do indeed get faster. It doesn't necessarily have to be stuff like this or SimCube or Aztec, whatever the case may be. You could still be in a G29 and experience this kind of growth as well. I've reached up to 3000 IR, actually 3200, and it's not recorded here. I specifically remember being about 3200 IR at one point around this time frame. Never recorded, that's okay. We're sort of in a little bit of a drawdown right now. No big deal, especially being in a aluminum rig now. I'm still getting used to using a new trail braking technique as we are in a new place. But as we kind of move on real quick. But as we move on, I do want to talk a little bit about kind of where I'm at right now. I'm racing a lot more skilled people at this point in time. Based on my iRating, I'm in with anywhere within the top 2,000 to top 1,800 iRacers in the world based on iRacingData.com. In this race that we're currently in right now, this was with the Verstappen Sim team in their most recent community event. And I actually fared pretty well, not too bad. I was driving the 911 GT3, and over this 2-hour session, I was able to come into 13th place after starting in 50th. So I was pretty much in the back. I didn't actually qualify. I failed my qualifying. I didn't. I think I had 2 off tracks on both my flying laps. So we started in the back, and that's no big deal for me. I sometimes prefer working my way from the back all the way to the front. At the end of the 2-hour session, I was kind of by myself. So it was, the front got away from me, of course, with like draft and things like that. I also got away from the people behind me as well. But one whole year on iRacing, I've obviously been able to race with people like Max Verstappen, Chris Lullum. As you can see, the entire Verstappen Sim Racing team right here. I've also been able to race people like Frankie Muniz. I've been in a practice session with Kimi Antonelli. Still working on getting in a session with like Gabriel Bortoleto, people like that. They are here, and it is one of my, favorite things to do every single day. And, I couldn't thank God enough for being in this position to not only race these guys, but also have the skill and ingenuity to learn from my mistakes and get better every day. And, sometimes we don't get better every day, but the point is that I'm here trying to get better every day and trying to get into a seat one day, whether it's a professional sim racing seat or even a real seat. That's obviously the end goal. Rain or shine, I'm here, and I'm striving to do my best every single day. And that's what we should all be doing in the sim. And, sometimes that's why we fall behind in sim racing is, everybody's got these same kind of really lofty goals. And there's not enough space for everybody, necessarily. We've been here one entire year. I love it. I really do. I love to get in the sim every day. Even when I don't feel like it necessarily. It's a crazy feeling to really get into the sim when you're not feeling like it and still be able to perform to some capacity. I've learned to love that as well, being able to really get in and, you know, just drive and kind of escape the daily life a little bit and really focus on something. That's where I've been proven to be consistent, is being here every single day, and I plan to be here every single day basically for as long as I live. When one day a real racing opportunity approaches, I might not be able to be in the sim every day, but that's okay. I'll be racing every day and doing what I love. So that is the, you know, whole purpose of showing up every day, you know. I truly believe somebody's going to see this video one day and say, that's the type of person we want on our team. We want someone that's going to show up whether they feel good or not and still be able to perform at a high capacity or high level. And that's kind of that's where I shine. I really like to focus on my trail braking right now. That is where I lack the most skill at the moment. Prior to being in a desk setup, I was holding my brake plate or my heel plate down with my left foot and braking with my right foot. And there's obviously a big skill issue there because, you know, you can't properly trail brake or have that muscle memory to trail brake consistently. It's just getting a metal or getting a solid rig where I can have a proper seating position, hone in my left leg to start using that more consistently. So I'm still trying to get that muscle memory in down, because as of now it's kind of like riding with your non-dominant hand, for instance. So I'm still trying to get used to that feeling of braking consistently with my left foot, trailing, and, you know, just applying the right inputs into whatever the track I may be racing. One whole year on iRacing. It's been a wild ride currently. Just a year later, it's crazy to say I'm now competing in the Porsche Esports Super Cup, which is the opportunity effectively for people on iRacing to get to the Porsche factory in real life and drive a Porsche Cup car, one of the 992.2s currently. So we are currently racing those. We just got finished with Spa. The real Nuremberg 24 just finished up as well. So racing season is just getting underway, and, you know, I couldn't be more excited for what's to come in the future. At the moment, I'm sitting around a 26 to 2700 I rating, but I very soon will break out of that. There's no doubt about it. This next year, I expect myself to be, or this time next year, I expect myself to be at least 5,000 I rating. I expect myself to be racing in even higher splits than I'm already in as far as like endurance races go. As far as just like open public lobbies, I am specifically I'm already racing in the top splits, so that's really no question. Once we get to, you know, some of these bigger special events is where I drop a couple of splits just due to the density of racers racing at the time. A few more necessary upgrades that I will be getting into obviously will be things like getting a better PC. As you can see, I'm running pretty low graphics right now based on the gameplay you're watching. I do need a better PC, and another upgrade, basically the finalized upgrade I will need for my setup would be the triples, which obviously I need a bigger PC to support triple screen monitors just to improve things like racecraft. Having a better PC does in fact come into handy. Primarily I do race GT, so you'll see me in a lot of the GT4, GT3 lobbies. So if you do happen to see me, say hi. Let me know that you're there. I'm a clean racer, so I don't like to knock people off. Even in the top splits, you do experience that. Mostly that was a lot, and, you know, there was 1,500 SOF splits. Getting into these higher splits, you do run into clean racers, but that doesn't exclude bad eggs at all. They're still there, so you just have to find who those people are and learn to kind of avoid them, because they do show up and they will throw you off track and not care about it. But otherwise, everybody else, it's, you know, typically a pleasure to race with. As you can see right here, going wheel to wheel with this Porsche. You know, no knocking, nothing too crazy. Specifically, this race was one of the highlights of my year, and really being able to hone my skills on the Nürburgring, racing against some of the best in the world. Finishing only 13th place behind them. Besides 2 or 3 cars, I was effectively for the entire 2-hour session right behind the Verstappen sim team, and yeah, it was quite a wild ride, and it was my first time, but it definitely will not be my last time racing with them. You will see me more often coming up, whether I'm posting videos on YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok. I just started those accounts, so if you'd like to follow those, I will leave a link below so you can follow along with some of the shorts that I post daily. Long form videos like this, I might not be able to post as much. You know, you got people like Dave Cam which I have raced with before as well. Shout out to Dave Cam. He does a lot of, like the Ringmeister in the weekly, so I don't want to effectively copy other people's videos. I'd rather try to stay as original as possible throughout my journey. This has been a absolute blast. I look forward to seeing a lot of you on track, and one day you will see me in a real car. That's why I'm here. So my name is Jacob Hannafin. I appreciate you all stopping by today to just kind of hear about my journey and a little bit about me and the goals that we have. They're lofty goals, yes, but I'm not afraid of aiming big and aiming high, because that's how you achieve some of the highest things in the world, is starting at ground zero and getting there somehow, some way, some shape, or some form. Michael Jordan or Tiger Woods weren't the best golfers and basketball players in the beginning of their lives. Max Verstappen was not the best racer, and when he started, he got there just by consistently showing up every day. And that is a model that I'm following very closely. Showing up every day, showing people out there that I'm serious about what I'm doing and getting after it, no matter the roadblock in the way. We want to show up and be there regardless. So without further ado, everybody, I appreciate you all stopping by. My name is Jacob Hannafin, and this has been my 1 year on iRacing.